Hello everyone, welcome to our Match Minus One press conference. We're joined by MLS Canada head coach of the men's national team, Jesse Marsch, and vice captain, Stephen Eustachio. If you have a question on Zoom, please raise your hand. Please raise your hand in the room as well. Bonjour à tous, bienvenue à la conférence de presse à la suite de la match contre Roumanie. Nous sommes joignés par MLS Canada head coach of the men's national team, Jesse Marsch, et vice captain, Stephen Eustachio. We'll start with questions in the room. KJ, I'll start with you.
Thank you, Christian Jack, One Soccer. Jesse, question for you. This is a two-match international window, and that's pretty common in international football, but actually isn't that common for you during your tenure. You've had a lot of tournaments now. Can you talk us through what is really important from a coach's point of view during that two-match window and what you're looking to get ahead of this one?
Yeah, I mean, it's, being an international coach, what you realize is you have lots of time to prepare and lots of time to think about strategies of how to get the most out of your team. We've kind of taken a strategy that these next three windows we're almost treating like one window. So it's 6 matches, 6 good matches. We haven't announced the 6th one yet, but they're going to be very good matches. And then, there's certain things we want to develop on the inside of our team to fully prepare us for what next summer looks like. One of them is about our leadership and communication on the pitch. And then another one is that we continue to push the entire squad, and not just that we have good performances from the starting 11, but that we have good performances for the entire 90-plus minutes. Then when you look at this matchup against Romania, I think we know that they first have a qualifier in Cyprus on Tuesday, and clearly in this window that takes precedent for them. So we think we'll see a little bit of a mixed group from the start, but they have really quality players. They have players that play at high levels all over Europe. They're very good on transition, and they're technically gifted in a very savvy team. So when you add all those things up, that's the type of opponents that you see in the World Cup, and I think the type of opponent that will challenge us to be good at what we need to be good at. So we're excited. We've played a lot of matches away from home. We know what that feels like. We've developed a bit of a hardened mentality for how to handle away crowds and how to handle moments where our backs are against the wall a little bit in the match. But we will be looking for a mature performance, a performance that takes us a step closer to the team we want to be, and we're excited about being here and what the challenge will be.
And just a follow-up to that would be on team selection. I know you're not going to give your 11 out here, but in the past you have sometimes named your starting goalkeeper the day before the game. There's a lot of discussion around the 2 goalkeepers right now. How are you managing that situation, and can you share with us at this moment who's going to start?
I've told Dane and Max likely what the decision will be. I will tell them all when we meet after this, so I'm not going to say anything quite yet, but both goalkeepers will get a match in this window, and they know that the competition is still alive and well. They've handled it incredibly well, and I think they've also mentored Jaden Hebert coming in, and I think we've all seen that he has real potential. So, I think it's an important window for both of those goalkeepers, but we know that we'll get the best out of both of them.
Chris?
Chris Jones, CBC. Steph, for you, Jesse's talked a lot about leadership. He talked about it again now. You're sitting beside him at this moment for a reason. The team obviously missed you in the summertime. Do you feel like now is these 3 windows is a good opportunity for you to assert yourself as one of the principal, if not the principal leader of the team?
Obviously, I really wanted to be with the group in the summer, which was unfortunate. But in my situation, I always try to be myself in these camps. It's not because, tomorrow I'm going to be probably the captain of the team that I have to have a certain type of behavior. And then when Fonzie is here, obviously he's our captain, that I change. I try to always be the same guy, try to support my teammates as well. Know how to communicate is one thing that I'm trying to learn. Obviously in the past, I made a lot of mistakes because I was growing into this role of being a leader. But at this point in my life, with 28 years old, with all the experience I've been having in Europe and with the national team as well, I feel like I'm ready to help my teammates more. And the coach is really pushing me to communicate more and better as well. So yeah, that's my main goal. Obviously, I'm trying to lead the team this camp to help us get two very good results. But at the same time, I know we have our captain that's recovering at home, and we wish him all the best, and we really want him back.
Matthew?
Matthew Shinetti with TSN. Jesse, with respect to communication and leadership, what does that look like for someone like Steph? And I know that there are other guys like Moise who aren't here that I know you're going to expect that out of as well. If you're looking at this as one big window, what kind of objectives are you giving those guys when it comes to that communication leadership?
Yeah, well, first of all, any of us who know Steph know how mature he is, how intelligent he is, how good he is at communicating already with people, and the way that people look to him because of his maturity and his experience. And I think it's just trying to challenge them to use that more, to speak more on the pitch, and then to know what to say and when to say it and how to push the levels at which we are in control of the match at all moments. We've instituted things in training this week. We've instituted things off the pitch. We've instituted individual things, group things. You know, we've had some interesting experiments with trying to pull more personality out of our group and to encourage them to understand that they are the ones who control what this team is and who this team is and where this team is going. And I always think, as the principal leader and coach, that the more that I can help create a pathway for guys like Steph to be able to use their abilities to do that effectively, and really take ownership of the team in constructive and helpful ways, that then they don't need me. And that's always my ultimate goal, is that I can just sit on the bench and be a fan like everyone else. But I can say this, like, Steph has never disappointed, particularly him. His ability and his desire to be at his best at all the time, and to really be a supportive teammate and a guy that can push guys and a guy that understands the qualities of each player and uses intelligence and experience in all the right ways to help the team, is at a really high level, and we're really lucky to have him.
And just quickly as a follow-up, is this maybe something that you felt the team needed to do more following the game against Curacao? And I mean, 6-0 win against Honduras, maybe you wouldn't think that there would be a lack of communication, but was this something that you felt needed to be a priority, given the fact that you weren't there on the pitch when you were
Well,
suspended?
if we would have gone back to even, I think, the first conversation we had before Copa America, I was talking about being savvy, being concentrated, being disciplined, being organized, and that was going to be a big factor in how we were going to manage the types of teams and players and savviness that we were going to be experiencing. We're still a young team, but we're developing more and more, and we're understanding more and more what we're becoming. And we're a team of very high character, like maybe the highest character of any group of players that I've ever coached, in terms of selflessness, commitment, desire, and support of each other. It's a very unique group. And so I've always tried to say to them that because of that, there's an incredible opportunity to also be the kind of group that can push each other and now raise the level at which we expect our performances, our concentration, and certainly our organization is. So, yeah, but we're going to get there. We've made good steps already this week.
Yeah.
In the green?
Hello, Cristian Pinta from Pro TV Romania. 2 questions for the coach. Of course, you analyzed the team of Romania. Who do you think is the most dangerous player from our team? And the second question is, what do you know about the career of Mircea Lucescu and how is to face him?
Yes. So first, it's an honor. The coach has been around. I don't want to mispronounce his name, but he's been around for a long time, and he's been a very valuable character within Romanian football. And at 80 years old, you can still see that he has energy. And by the way, he still has a lot of cleverness in modern football and the way he wants his team to play. So it's not been the easiest team to prepare for. So certainly a lot of respect. And then, when you look at the right side of the team and you look at Man and Raitu, you know that you have incredibly explosive, talented players that really can dictate the way the team plays. And a big challenge for us on the day will be to try to manage what those players can do, what they can find within the match, and with their explosiveness and creativity on the right side, make sure that we're not giving them too much room. So it'll be a big challenge for us.
Hello, Galațo. You're not only a a very good coach, but you're also a strong character who had a very powerful reaction to the President Donald Trump. But you also said that 50 persons told you that, warned you that somebody might come after you. Have you felt that in the last 6 months? And the second question, don't you think that Donald Trump wants to be the main character of the World Cup before the players, the coaches, the fans?
I don't want to get, I think I've had my time in the sun of politics, and I don't want to go back there again, so I'm not going to say anything too polarizing. Being an American, obviously the entire region is excited about hosting the World Cup, and so for us in Canada, we look forward to hosting the home World Cup. We look forward to the matches that we're going to play. We've really tried to create a movement and put the players at the forefront of everything that's happening with the sport in our country. I think people are finally starting to realize back home that we're going to have a home World Cup in about 10 months, 9 months, and there's starting to grow some real excitement. And we also get more people that come and travel and watch us when we play in Romania, so that's nice and more attention. And look, the draw is December 5th. It will be in Washington, D.C. It will be at the Kennedy Center. It's called the Kennedy Center. And while we're there, we will be really excited to see the teams that we play, and there will be a lot of attention around the event. I know that there's been a good connection with FIFA and with the White House, and in the end, with all of the politics that have been floating around in the world, more than anything, we're so excited about the opportunity to play the World Cup at home.
Christian?
To be fair, I haven't been in the U.S. too much. So we were there for the Gold Cup. I think people know the comments I made, and so they see, when they see me, they are aware of I'm that guy. But no, I haven't felt like I'm going to be deported.
Jesse and Steph, I have a question about Max. Now you've confirmed that he's going to play one of these games. I'd like both of you to comment on this if you can. Max was the #1 goalkeeper last summer in Copa America, but has since started just 4 of 14 games. Obviously, he's getting an opportunity within this window. I wouldn't mind if you both take us behind the curtain a little bit and just let us know how important Max's leadership is to this squad and how he's handled that year where he hasn't necessarily had as many games as he thought.
Why don't you go, Steph?
Yeah. No, I've known Max for a lot of time now, obviously because he played with my brother in the youth national team as well. No, for me, Max has always been a good leader, vocal. Obviously, he's very experienced because of his age and because of the career he had. He did an amazing tournament, as you said, and well. For me, as a player, especially playing in the spine of the field, knowing that Max is our goalkeeper feels very safe. But at the same time, I can say the same situation with Dane. We all know that Dane is still a young goalkeeper, trying to be more vocal. He's pushing himself as well. And that position we can translate to all the other positions in the field. Like right now, Canada's men's national team, everybody's competing for the spot. The tournament is 9-10 months from now, but at the same time, everybody has that fear to be left out, which is good in a phase like this because we play very big opponents. And although it's friendlies, these games matter for us, matter for our country, matter for our preparation. And nobody can think that they have their spot secured because that's not true. So yeah, I'm very happy with our goalkeepers. They've been doing a tremendous job, and yeah, I'm very happy.
Yeah, I would just add that I think that both have been very mature in the whole process. They've understood the things that I think they both need to do to improve and be important for us. They've both supported each other at such a high level. And it's going to come down to the finest of margins. And when the decision gets made, which we don't want to wait until right before the World Cup, when the decision gets made, it will be probably one of my most difficult and important decisions for the team. So I'm evaluating that every day we're together.
We'll go to Matthew and then a couple questions on Zoom.
To that point, Steph, how do you see the competition where you are? Because without you at the Gold Cup, you saw Chouanier and Segor and Saliba, and maybe Ismail didn't get the playing time that he would have expected, but we saw what he did during Copa. How are you approaching that, and do you have that fear of being left out too?
Yes, of course I have that fear. If I didn't, I would be in the wrong place. Obviously, for me, the fact that I'm one of the captains doesn't mean nothing. Obviously, I have to work a lot. As you said, and well, the players that played in the Gold Cup did a very good job. Even when Nico played as a midfield, he did very good. Mathieu, top quality player. Now Saliba is having his first steps in Europe and doing pretty well. That's a special player that I really like. If you look back at the performance that Ismail had against France, that's a top baller right there. But at the same time, I'm very happy that we have all of these positions and all of these players that can play. Because, as Jesse said in the beginning of the conference, it's not about the first 45 minutes or the first 60 minutes of the game. In a World Cup, we've had that experience in the past. All the games are important, especially the first one. We really have to get points out of that first game, and to get points out of that first game, we need a really, really strong group to enter the game and to finish the game. So yeah, I'm very happy with the squad we have. I'm very happy with the behaviors of each player. And then on my side, I just really try to push myself, not to make it to the World Cup, but to be a better player as well.
We'll do a few questions on Zoom. We'll go to Neil Davidson. Neil, go ahead.
About improving on-field leadership and vocal communication, and I wonder what role a veteran like Junior Hoilett can play in that.
So the questions were, will everyone be available first? The answer to that is yes, except for Jacob Schaffelberg, who will be suspended from his red card in the Gold Cup. And is Junior Hoilett beneficial for us in developing our overall leadership? And the answer is yes to that. We brought Junior for several reasons, none more important than the quality of the player he is, but certainly his experience, his leadership, his ability to understand what the best games are about and how to represent the Canadian national team is probably better than anyone in our player pool because of his experience. And I think that even for our coaching staff, for our player pool, we all look to Junior in a real strong way. And then one of the things I referenced with Junior in front of the group was when you watch him play club football, whether he starts, whether he comes off the bench, his level of performance, his steadiness, his quality that he delivers at every moment is exactly what it needs to be. And I think that our players can learn a lot from that. And I think he can benefit not just the players, but also by performances. So he will play. He will play, and we're excited to get him on the pitch.
Joshua Cloak.
Jesse, Steph, how are we doing?
Good.
So you mentioned, Jesse, that the next 6 matches you're kind of treating as one window. Does that suggest that you'll largely keep the same group and that you have like a much clearer idea of what your group is going to look like for the next year or so?
I think our group has, in terms of selection for the overall pool, become clearer and clearer and stabilized a bit. That's not to say that there aren't spots up for competition, but I think that in a lot of positions when we know our players are healthy, we're pretty clear on what each guy can deliver and how he fits in, and I think that will be important in developing ourselves toward next summer. The factor we have right now is just some injuries in the back. So certainly between Alfonso and Moyes and Alistair, we know that these are going to be 3 incredibly important players for us next summer. Liam Miller's coming back, and he should be able to be available to be called in October as well. We're missing Kyle Larin and Daniel Jebison, but all of these have given us a little bit of an opportunity to look at a few more people and players. But I'm personally very excited about the potential of the squad that we will put together And we're very hopeful that we can have, especially with a lot of transfers over the summer, a lot of players that settle into their club situations, that can have really good form and fitness, stay healthy, and push themselves at the highest level to be ready for their club season and perform their best, which will ultimately benefit us the most when we get to next summer.
Quick follow-up. Goalkeeping remains a hot topic. What has Jaden Hebert shown you in training this week?
Do you want to answer that?
Yeah, I can. It was a pleasure to meet him. My first time with him, obviously. To be honest, seems like a pretty mature guy. A goalkeeper that knows what he wants, brings quality as well. A goalkeeper that wants to help. He knows his space as well in between the three goalkeepers. So yeah, I'm very happy with him. He's in personal terms, I think he's been doing a very good job. Being part of the group. Everybody so far likes him. He's respected. He respects us as well. And once a player has a strong work ethic, that's all we need.
Yeah, the only thing I would add is just he doesn't seem like a 21-year-old. He seems much more mature than that, and I think that's been a big key to him adapting and assimilating to what our team is.
We'll finish with John Molinaro. John, go ahead.
Thanks, John. Hey, Jesse. Richie Laret was someone who kind of missed the first few weeks of first few months of the season with an injury, and then has really sort of, shown well, playing in a variety of positions over the last couple of months for TFC. I just wanted to get your take on him and how you see him fitting into your long-term plans going forward, especially ahead of the World Cup.
Richie, to me, is one of our most important personalities in the team. He's off the pitch incredibly well liked and appreciated, and on the pitch he brings a different kind of competitiveness and edge that I think is necessary for us to compete against the best opponents and in the best games. So Richie always seems to find a way to get himself on the pitch, whether it's we've played him left back, right back, we've played him in the midfield, because we know he's important to us. So I would say that when looking at the overall squad and the exact mentality that will be necessary for us to be good next summer, Richie is in that way one of the biggest catalysts to get us to where we want to go.
Okay, we'll end it there. Thank you, everyone. Merci à tous.
Thank you.
Thank you.